but now we're good. I was thinking of taking you to a forest in the city, in the middle of the city, and we'll see how it goes because it was raining 3 days ago, so it might be too muddy to actually go through the forest since it doesn't have any actual hiking trail that's anything other than dirt. So we'll see if we're able to use it. If not, that's fine. We'll walk around the edges of the forest, which should be okay. And here I'm just trying to avoid traffic, parked cars, and on the road and on the pavement. But we should get there in a minute. I'll just show you. Here kind of looks like an abandoned road, what you might see in a happy Resident Evil movie, and I say happy because of all the birds you can hear. But yeah, just on the edge there's a way for us to enter the forest, and then that's going to be a good sample road for us, because then we'll see if we can go even deeper. If not, as I said, we'll take the other route, which is around the forest and without so many parked cars and all that. But it's a beautiful day, and I know this is not the perfect time to be going live and all, but it's the time that I had. Now I'm free, and now I can do some light walks, light cardio, so decided to have you tag along if you so decide or wish. Anyway, finally we'll be entering this grove and away from the annoying cars and the road. I hope you can hear that. I love to hear those sounds, quite relaxing, as opposed to this. Yeah, not the best sound, so not ideal for taking a stroll. But this is. So let me just show you. Beautiful, is it not? Gotta watch my footing. But yeah, this one is quite nice. I'll just show you once more. Yeah, love the colors and lovely nature. Yeah, this one has a bit of rocks, as I believe before, like 30 years ago or so, it was used as a railway, and now there's no rails, but some material remains, so it's good for a walk, even if it's a bit wet. But here there's plenty of sunshine as well, and therefore it gets dry pretty quick. Now, this is just the edge of the forest. We'll be going inside, taking a right turn, and going a bit deeper, which should be even nicer. Although I'm not looking forward to the mosquitoes that might follow. Anyway, crossing another road right here. ways when you cross the street, folks. Okay, we're taking our turn. Let's see what that brings us. There's a lot of flies going about, and this particular forest or hike isn't that big. There's a nice stretch of maybe 6 miles if you go like the scenic route. 6 miles would be the longest here, I think, or thereabout. But it's like you would then do a full circle. But anyway, wherever you are in this forest, if you just keep going straight, you're bound to hit a road in a matter of like few minutes, since, as I said, it's in the middle of the city, and then there's always cars around it, not going through the heart of the forest, at least. So that's good. Yeah, so far, I'll just again show you ahead. This is the type of road that we are going, and that's more or less what it looks like for now. Yeah, the other thing, there's a plane overhead, so hopefully it's not too loud. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the whole trail, hiking trail, goes up and down, which is great because if it's just flat, it's a bit too easy and gets boring. Plus, you get the added bonus of having different pressure on your joints, which is great for balance, mobility, uh, bone strength, and all that good stuff, especially when you are going up. So uphill, which is of course more difficult, then you're working more of your different muscles, and then that is all pretty good stuff for your legs, for your lungs, because they work more. Good for your heart, good for your cardiovascular system, of course, since it's good for the heart, right? So all in all, very healthy stuff. You don't want to push yourself too hard if you're for some reason unable to. If it's too hard, don't do it. If it's you want it to be just right. You want it to be a bit challenging so that you are pushing yourself a little bit, but not too much so that you get injured or can't complete the hike, which is definitely something you don't want to do. Yeah. Anyhow, there's a few folks that pass this route, and it's so far a good sign. If that gentleman was walking here, means the path forward will be easy to pass. As I mentioned, it was raining, and some parts of the forest might be too steep and difficult to go through when it's muddy, slippery, and all that. In other news, it's going to be sunny these few days. So if I get some time, I should be able to do another one of these within like 2 days, hopefully. But yeah, this is just a good, makes good sense. It's a beautiful day. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's not here in the forest, at least at the moment. It's not too humid. That's also pretty good. And another thing is this whole greenery is doing wonders for my eyes, and I'm feeling more relaxed. Well, I'd be more relaxed if I wasn't holding the phone, to be honest. But I decided to just give it a change, try this out, see how it goes, see if anybody likes this. And if so, it might continue. If not, it might not. So, no harm, no foul. This part of the hike, or the forest, or the trail, is going down, but it's not going straight down. Kind of in a curve, and you might not be able to see. The camera might not be able to show it right. Beautiful view, I always have to say. But yeah, the trail is quite steep and curved. We have a bike. One moment. We had a bike pass us. Sometimes. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, this trail is good for bike rides. I'll show you in some places they even have like some jump pads for bikes, which quite awesome. And some people even go with quads, but don't do that. They disturb the already disturbed forest. I mean, any forest that has a lot of people go through it is not at ease, but this one at least is close to the University of Forestry, and they try and keep it healthy, and they check the trees and all that. So that's a very good thing for the forest here. But yeah, the guys that go with quads and all that, they crush the young trees, branches, disturb the birds. And speaking of the quad, so this is our route. This is where we're going. And I don't know if you can see here, but these are those tracks, quad tracks. So someone went from there, straight down, then here, and then there they are again, going down to the main road. Now, this main road is not usually this inside of the forest and not this close to our hike trail. But in this instance, it is, and then curves a bit, goes there, goes a little bit more into the forest, and then down, and we won't be seeing it much later on. The colors on the camera are just a little bit different than from what you would see from the naked eye, since when you're looking at it realistically, they're just a little darker green, which is, this is nice too from the camera. Both colors, or both shades of green, are nice in my opinion. Anyway, yeah, that's the road. And when fall comes, this can be a really picturesque scene with all the different foliage. And people like to drive through here because of that as well. Even when winter arrives and some snow comes, then it's also magical. So yeah, nice place to be throughout the year, basically, or drive through. And as I mentioned, the Forestry University, they also help keep this path clear from falling debris. Recently, they had a, I don't know what you would call it, but a gathering. Like they organized people, whoever wanted, like volunteers, to come. They had about a 30-minute seminar, I guess you would call it, or introduction into a crash course is more adequate for checking what the health of a tree is, or how healthy and unhealthy trees look like. And so they would then divide into groups. Each group would have at least one forest ranger, and they would go, they would try and look at as many trees as possible, mark them, the ones that needed marking, and that way they can keep the forest healthy. Cut down the trees that need cutting down so they don't endanger anybody, and then that way they create space for other plants and trees. Well, trees are plants, but you know, they have room to grow, more sunshine, and if needed, they plant other species of trees, types of trees. That way, the forest keeps on living in a healthy, prosperous way, which is great. It's for the forest residents, it's home to a lot of birds, especially in this time of the year. So April, May, June, July, kinds of different types of birds come through the city as well, because it's on the banks of two big rivers, and it's a great place for different types of birds migrating and otherwise to hear that. That's a good solid sized, there it goes again. I don't know if you can hear that, if you pick up on it. It's a woodchucker, like here, fallen woodchucker somewhere there. But yeah, this is fallen debris, and it's away from the hike path. Although that one isn't, but then you can go either around it or jump over it. There's also some mushrooms that I don't know the name of, but they seem to be growing a lot on this tree and at this moment. So there's that too. Yeah, for the mushroom lovers, there's something to see. There's always something new on the forest floor. Like I said, a lot of different types of birds as well. And, you know, the occasional squirrel, some mice, but you have mice everywhere. And if you're lucky, you might see a deer, but don't count on it. Yeah, the forest itself is not too dense, so it's great for hiking. It's also great for, there's a few universities here close to it, which is great. The one that I mentioned, so the forestry, but the other is the sports university, and that's great because then here there was a river, or I shouldn't say river. So it starts a little bit upstream, but yeah, this is just a stream, and now it's kind of dry, but yeah, it goes down there somewhere, and we'll cross another one. Sorry about that. We for a minute there we crashed, but yeah, there's going to be a crossing bridge. It's basically just a one-step bridge or a few planks over the small stream. But it's nice nonetheless. There's an app that you can use it's called Merlin, that you can use to guess. I mean, it tells you the types of birds that you're hearing, and then it gives you information on those birds if you're into that kind of thing. So you can check it out if it's something to your liking. And there's a lot of side trails, I don't know what you would call them, that goes up and ends about around here. But this is our main one. And so yeah, there's a lot of smaller trails here. So it seems easy to get lost, but getting lost here, because it's not a big forest, is not a big deal. It just means that you'll either come to a dead end, have to return, which is like 5 minutes of walking extra, or you'll hit an exit in, again, a few minutes. So either way, it's no big deal if you stray from the path. And this is the stream that I was mentioning. So it goes down there and goes from up there. As you can see, freshly marked tree. So that's from the few days ago, the event that I was mentioning. So this is a nice stream. It goes over these logs. I was saying there were planks. I'm pretty sure there were planks before, but yeah, now we're crossing the logs, and that's about it. That's the most water we'll see here. It'd be nice if there was a lake, but that's just wishful thinking. And yeah, it was Earth Day a few days ago as well. Had a live stream there, coincidentally. But anyway, it was a great opportunity to clean the area. And this forest usually isn't that dirty, even though a lot of people come through, and even though it's in a major city. Thankfully, there's not a lot of trash, especially not here because it's more in the heart of the forest. But yeah, on the outskirts, you could see some trash or things people forgot left behind, which we shouldn't do, but you know, people do that, fortunately. And yeah, the thing I was about to mention. Sorry for getting sidetracked, and apologies for this. The University of Sports, which is near, has a lot of benefits from the forest, obviously. There's also a running track, which is about, is it a mile long? Maybe a bit less. But yeah, there's that, and it's for public use, so a lot of people go there. And the university does use it, and they have a lot of places, different types of pitches, like football pitch, handball. There's a tennis court, all that stuff, and it's great because it's all in the forest, in the greenery. That's just awesome. But the other thing that they do is once a year, I think it's for the first, is it the first? think it is. For the first year, students, they organize something which is called orienteering, which is basically your ability to your way through wilderness. And they have a test. They divide into groups. They get a piece of paper, and by that particular piece of paper has some information on it. They need to read it, and based on it, they need to find things that are hidden in the forest here, and that's pretty fun for me, and I think for most people. The reason I stopped is we're getting to a clearing here. I'll show you. So this was like cut down, I think, a year, maybe 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So this is all forest before as well, but the trees were cut down, taken away, and I think hopefully they'll just let these new ones grow. I don't know if anything else is planned, but yeah, I'm hoping it's not going to be like, for example, look at this one. This was a pretty old tree, and we could stand here and count these rings, but I'm not going to do that, obviously. But yeah, this was all part of the forest. It's cut down. Maybe they needed wood. Maybe I don't know. Some trees were not doing so well, but as you can see, there's already fresh trees growing, and hopefully they continue to grow. Maybe they monitor this. Maybe they have some plans that I at least don't know about. So yeah, I'm just hoping they don't make houses here or something. That would be a mistake. Anyhow, this now gets a bit difficult for people that are going here like first, second, third time. There's a divide. There's a fork in the road. So we have this path. I have this path. Thank you for joining us, by the way. So we have two paths that are almost identical in size. Like looking at it, actually, this one looks bigger than this one. So naturally, I would try and go this way. But that way just does not go anywhere special. I mean, it does go on for a few minutes and then it just stops. So maybe if you're looking for mushrooms or wild berries or something like that, then you would go down that road and explore. But we're taking our hike, so we're going the actual way. Yeah, just as an example of markings, this one, red, naturally, not a good marking, but what they do is they mark, I'll show you, the young tree, this one. As you can see, it's also white here, which I guess is for protecting the young grower. But there's a few of them. There's one right there, another one there. And so someone just put these pieces of wood around them so that people don't step on them. Here's another example of that. So I'm no tree expert, but I know this is a type of oak, and it's also just protected a little bit more. There we go. So hopefully people don't step on them. Anyhow, we can continue our hike, and this lovely sunshine is giving us some good vitamin D and hopefully a bit of a tan. But yeah, at any rate, the sports university does those kinds of tests, trials, and it's pretty fun for the students there. Like that orienteering, you're supposed to find hidden things in the forest, just based on the paper and some teamwork, and it can be pretty fun. You of course have a time limit, and you cannot use your phone, even though it could help a bit, but not too much. Thank you for joining us, by the way. I hope you're enjoying the stream so far, and if you have any questions or any contributions, feel free to type or say at any time. Now, there's another fork in the road for us. So for somebody that doesn't know the path, again, an issue. So we have this one, and then we have that one. So that one, again, is bigger, but it's just bigger because the bulldozers or whatever they used, the machinery they used to come here, moved through there. So that's what they left. But thankfully, we know the way, and we'll go that way. Deeper into the forest, away from this lovely sunshine, and into the shade. It's this part of the hike is going to take us on a bit of a climb, but then at one point, or in one part of the trail, we're gonna go on a really steep climb, and that's gonna be a challenge, but it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be just looking around, sorry, it's gonna be a good exercise. There's just some twigs and some roots on the ground that I should be wary of or mindful of. So I'm just trying not to trip on them. And for my apologies, for those of you that are familiar with fauna and flora, you could find some interesting things here, I'm sure. I'm just moving, like the pace at which I'm going is not fast, but I think it's too fast for you to notice different types of plants here. That was a lizard that we didn't step on, so that's good. But yeah, there's all kinds of plants here, which for someone who's interested in plants is probably quite interesting. Now the road, bumblebee, avoid them. And the road that we crossed and that I showed you there is meeting us once again. It's right there, and that's the closest we'll get to it in this video or this time. But the fun thing is that when you're driving, you can see a big rock. It's around there somewhere. And it's a big rock that we'll be going over with the way we're following the trail. But that rock is used for climbers, rock climbers, to practice. And for me, that looks really awesome. I'd like to try it sometimes, but I'm also afraid of heights, so it's not something that's ideal for me. But it seems fun, and I guess I'd be okay at it if I practiced, of course. But free soloing is another monster altogether, and yeah, that's just something I would avoid. I just get goosebumps thinking about stuff like that. Anyhow, this part right here is a little bit more narrow, and I'm trying to move through the branches. Yeah, so we're going a little bit down, but then we'll be climbing right about here. Now we're going up, and this is the part where we are going on to this rock. So, my apologies, but I just need to maneuver, and I want to avoid the tall grass that's around me. That one. Don't want to get any unwanted guests on me. One thing. So again, not that I'm a rock expert, but we're on this big rock that you can't actually see, but you can see parts of it. So there's that one sticking out. There's an even bigger one. So this is a rock part of it. That one as well, but I don't know if you can see. So that's all rock. A rock expert could tell you, I guess, what type of rock it is, but you are no such luck as I am not him. Anyway, we're right on top of it, and the rock itself is pretty cool. But another thing might be also cool is this view. It's a pretty nice view, you have to admit. So you can see there's the main road, which is a bit far. It's not the one that we showed. And there's another hill there. There's a lot of houses and buildings. So it's a neighborhood on a hill. That's quite lovely. This tree also freshly marked. So yeah, this is an important one because we don't want it to fall down the road. Our road is right there, and so yeah, we want to keep an eye on this tree. Don't want it to fall down on the cars or maybe some climbers. And because we're on a bit of a high spot here, you want to be extra careful because there's these roots, and you don't want to accidentally get stuck on one of them and fall onto this. So just being extra careful, watching where we're stepping, and as you can see, climbers would go here and then down there and down there. It's a small rock for climbers, but big enough to get you to be on guard and not want to fall down, definitely. anyhow, we can go ahead and have a move on. But yeah, that was hopefully a nice view for you, some scenery. Even though we're close to the road at the moment, it's still very nice air around here. And now we're getting to the spot where a, a member of the ruling party or royalty was killed, murdered. That's right here. So it's, you see, that happened right there, and that's why they put all of this around, and we have some place that to sit, and there's an information board as well. I'll move to the part where it's English so that you can see for yourself. As you see, I don't know, is it clear enough? Yeah, memorial marking the site of Prince Mihailo's assassination in Košutnjak. Life and politics of Prince Mihailo Obrenović. That's the full story, or at least, yeah, part of the story there. Hopefully you can pause the video and zoom in and read all this. But yeah, that's a bit of history through nature. As I mentioned, usually it gets quite clean here, but every now and again you get some trash. So please, people, pick up after yourselves. And as you see, the trash can is actually 5 steps from it. Yeah, of course, this wind moved it here, but whoever was around here when they were eating and throwing the trash, they missed the 2. There's actually 3 or 4 trash cans. So yeah, don't do that, people. If there's a trash can, throw your garbage there. If it's not there, put it in your pocket, backpack, I don't care, but don't leave it on the ground. That's just not something that we do. There's a lot of birds and they have a nest, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. Right there, yeah. There's the nest, and the birds flew out of it just a moment ago. It was a colorful bird as well. Seemed pretty nice. But again, I didn't get a good look, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to. I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what the actual bird is, which would be fun to know, but maybe someday. Got caught in cobwebs. But now here, there's a sort of a breeze, and we are in the shade. It gets a bit colder, which is nice, just a change. And there's a log on the way or on the road. I'm just trying it out, seeing how how good of a balance I've got. So far, it's fine. So, yeah, having a good balance is good, important for posture and all that. And why you want to have a good posture is you want to avoid having back pain later on, because that can be a real problem. Anyway, away from problems we go, and into a nice hike. We move on. Not a best phrased sentence, I have to admit. This part, let me just stay here for just a moment. These trees were all planted at the same time, and they're the same type of tree. Usually, when that happens, or when people do that, it's for later use. So they use it to grow them, then cut them down and use for building materials, for making wood, of course. And those types of forests that only have one type of tree usually are not so biodiverse, meaning they don't have a lot of different types of life in them. And that's kind of sad to see. But this is just a um, small, like, I don't know how many. It has not even half an acre, a few yards, but it doesn't affect the forest as a whole if there's just a small part of it that's made with the same types of tree. Why they planted the same type of tree, I have no inkling. And maybe another interesting thing that we find on our hike is what ants can do to a tree. So there, you sometimes you have termites, and sometimes you have just there's leaf cutter ants, but these are not them. And you have tree burrowing ants. So some of them, termites would eat through it and then destroy the whole tree. Other types of ants might just eat inside and then live in the tree. That, of course, in the long term does not help the tree, but it doesn't destroy it as fast as termites do. Anyhow, you can see how this one was quite large, but also destroyed by these tiny, tiny ants that are no longer here. You just see leftovers of their home. Seems like a halfway educational video at this point, and I'm hoping it's not too tedious. Ooh, broke a loud branch, or a very dry branch. Now we are coming close to that steep part, and when that comes, we'll be again close to the end of our hike. Usually, this hike does not take 50 minutes like mine is taking now, so the whole hike will be even longer. But yeah, I'm just trying to make the video interesting, at least a little bit, and show you around. We have another person coming our way, so we'll just not disturb them. Yes, on, but it's fun so far. Two hikers on their way. I wanted to stop there, but we'll find another spot. I just need to get some water. for my backpack, and yeah, then we will be able to move on. But at any rate, I wanted to say that if you were to go on this particular route, you'd need less than 50 minutes probably to complete the route, and we are now at what, 52. We entered the 52nd minute, so, and we're not at the end. Yeah, I'm taking quite a long time to get there, but I'm trying to give you at least a little bit of the view. If I moved fast, the video would be even more shaky, would be even less things to see, to notice, and yeah. There's moss on the tree. Hopefully, it's as we know to point us in the north direction. And here we have some trees that were cut down long ago and are quite old. So let me just show you a little bit. This one as well, I guess, ants or not ants. I'm thinking some insect got there, but not too hollow inside, but old. That one as well. Yeah. I was just going to say, those trees can be useful for some people to dry out, use as firewood and whatnot. But I think fresher trees are used for carpentry and all that stuff that we use regularly. So hopefully nobody comes. Well, I think it's illegal to come here and cut down the trees here, unless you're licensed and you're cutting down the unhealthy ones, which makes sense. But also, I think they'll be making a neighborhood somewhere in the forest that's going to be supposedly an elite neighborhood for the rich. And I'm assuming they'll have a nice view. Jumping back to the thing I mentioned at the beginning. Remember how I said there's bike paths for, well, bikers, people on mountain bikes and whatnot, and then there are places where they can jump off of. Well, if you look here, that's a pretty steep way to go, and for a biker, they get a decent speed. But that's not enough. We have a nice jump pad right there. So you go all the way from who knows where, ride down, get into a nice steep angle right there, and then zoom. That's quite a jump you would get from this, and they do that. So for you professional, I don't know what to call you, but like stuntmen comes to mind. I'd say you have a fun time here. Anyway, I'm just gonna pause for a second on the nice sunny spot. Just need to get some water. Getting a dry mouth. Not ideal for a speaker, which I guess I am at the moment. I'm just going to put you down a little bit. Don't move, don't move. There we go. Sorry about that. Just needed to get some water. That hit the spot. Another thing I should have done is bring another t-shirt, but yeah, forgot I would be carrying. Normally, because this is not a big trail, I wouldn't carry a backpack with me. But now, because I'm making this video, I put some extra things in the backpack just in case. And I also needed a spot to place my water. So carrying the backpack makes it a bit more of an exercise, which is great. But it gets to a point where it's a bit too hot. So rehydration is important. Part of the snake here, so I'm not gonna show you that. Probably a bike that ran over it. And snakes here usually are not venomous, so that's a good thing. Something that we don't need to worry about. And you might have noticed one person running through here. It's a great trail for runners, especially for those who are beginners at trail running. Because, as I said, there's not that big of a hike, and it's also close to the road if you need it. But runners will go through here, and it's quite a great good exercise because it's in the forest. You're away from cars. That's a big plus. There's also, now we're at the point where we're just gonna go up and up and up and up. But yeah, going running in this type of environment is extra challenging. Your joints are under more pressure because you're stepping on uneven terrain all the time, but your joints will thank you in the long run, because then they will adapt and you will be able to walk with more ease and run with more ease, and in general you'll have more stability. Also, your core engages, all muscles are working when you're running, basically. It's just a bit hard on your knees, but you're here on dirt, on the ground. You're not on asphalt. You're not on a hard surface. So that makes it much easier, much better for your joints, for your knees. This is an interesting insect that I have not seen before. It's just shiny, and it has. Now it's moving and flying around, so I can't really. Some type of moth, I'm guessing. But it has a large antenna on its head, and it has golden wings, which in the camera here seem more black. They are darker, but yeah, it's quite golden. There you can see that antenna. It's quite large. So, yeah, wildlife. Even though it's an insect, but it's a cute one. So, the path that I'm on right now is even steeper than the lens shows it, which is great, but we have a bike coming. So we'll move. That was the thing that I was going to say. Great that it's steep, great challenge. It's going to be a nice hike up, but it's tricky, and I should be more focused on what's in front of me, because that is, I should be more focused on what I'm hearing, because it's a thick part of the forest here, and I can't see a lot in front, but I can hear the bike coming down. So when I do, I should step aside wherever I can, because it's quite narrow, and they can go down pretty fast because it builds adrenaline and it's fun. It's also dangerous, so definitely make sure that if you're doing something like that, if you're going with your bike, just be sure that you're skilled enough to do it and wear the gear that you need, like a helmet for starters. There's one more fun thing to do in this forest apart from the running, hiking, biking, and picking mushrooms and checking out, going bird watching and whatnot. Close to here, there's a big stable, like a running track for horses, and they have the option of teaching you how to ride a horse, for one, but another is that you, once you know how to ride, you get on a horse and you go through this forest. And that's pretty fun. It's where else in a city do you get to ride a horse? You usually go mountains to do that. So that's pretty fun. Another thing about the forest is when it gets when it starts snowing, it gets covered in snow. It's a great place for kids. They come here to slide down all the hills, and yeah, it's just a magical time for them. This is just here for two reasons. Or one was that when that expedition of people going through the forest and checking the trees with the forestry university people, they put this here to stop the bikers from accidentally crashing into folks. And another is that this goes nowhere. So if a biker should be confused and go this way, they would end up in a bush somewhere. And now they know not to go there. Also, the Labor Day, 1st of May is coming. And that's when people from the city come here. That's going to be less than 2 weeks from now. And this place is going to be full of people. Well, not actually this area, but close to here. People come with tents, usually a day or two ahead of schedule, whoever can, to establish the spot for them, have tents, then they bring barbecue and have a good old time with lots of barbecue meat, lots of drinks and all that. That's a loud plane. Also, I'm in this a bit of a elevated spot. And this here is bikers as well. So they go up and then they go down or even further up if they jump. This is a nice little area here, an opening, sort of a clearing, even though I'm still beneath the canopy. I'm still not in the sunshine, so it's a good roof of branches above me. And soon we'll come to the craziest spot for riding bikes and jumping off. Before that, this is one of my favorite parts. I like this arch. It's made by the tree and the branches above it. It's like going under a green bridge, which I'm sure a lot of small animals use to pass through here. And you can see the tree branches and some vines there. So it creates a really nice spot. So, yeah, we're coming close to the end of the trail. A few snakes again. And yeah, the live that I did a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2 days ago, was doing, let's say, much better in terms of views. And I'm not sure why and how, even though it was at the same time, and I know this is not a perfect time, but still it was doing decent, and this one really isn't. So even though I will be going through this forest again on some hikes or runs, not bikes, I probably won't be doing the the video version of it. But yeah, if anybody thinks it should go live again, if anybody enjoys these types of videos or lives, let me know, and I'll see. Maybe I do that. Now, thankfully, I have to say I'm glad they removed the the jumping area that I was talking about, because it was just insane. So let me try and show you in the best way, because this lens does not do it justice. This here is really, really steep. Like if I'm going like this, you don't see the road. It's really, really steep down there. Like if I just go down on foot, I need to go slowly down step by step, and I really need to engage my core and muscles and everything to go down it and not fall. If I would run down, I'm not sure if I would be able to run all the way down without falling. So that's how steep it is. Then you have this, which is basically like a vertical wall almost. It's maybe, it's not 90 degrees, but it's 80 at best, probably 85. And so that's, I don't know, like 5 meters tall. And on top of it, right here, there was a jumping pad. And so bikes would go over that, they would jump, so they would be like 6-7 meters in the air, and then jump down there, which is crazy when you think about it. So very dangerous. And I see the place where the pad was, and it's great that it was removed, because that was a real hazard. Because young people, kids, they see that, they say, okay, so someone jumped over here, that means I can do it too, or I will try to do it too. And then they do, and they can possibly get hurt, because it's a challenge for them. They don't realize how dangerous it is, and even when they do realize the danger, they think someone else did it. So it's possible, and then they want to test what's possible, and it's just not a good idea. I am getting close to the end here, but I'll need just to be a bit faster, because here I don't have a lot of room to maneuver if a bike goes by, so I'll just need to speed up. Yeah, if you watched this far, thank you very much for watching. Hope it was interesting and fun, and yeah, hopefully see you in the next video. It was fun for me to just narrate through this forest, so that's mainly why I did it. But going through the same thing again will just not be that much fun. So unless, of course, there's people to engage with, in which case it's a whole different thing altogether. Anyway, that's gonna be it for now. Thank you for watching, and even if you didn't get to this part, if you just watched a little bit, thank you for that as well. Hope you have a great day, and yeah, go explore some nature, enjoy the greenery, the scenery, and you'll feel more relaxed, you'll feel more satisfied, and that feeling will last even when you're out of there, when you come back home, you're gonna be feeling good all the way. So yeah, everybody wants that. So just go do it. Easy. Yeah. Thank you, and take care.